Welcome to Rick's Corner, brought to you by Old School Labs, the brand I trust and the only one I put my name to. Use my code Drayson12 on the link below.
Welcome to Rick's Corner. The man, the myth, the legend. Now on with the show.
Welcome to Rick's Corner. I have John Hart back because he's like becoming a regular, and we have a lot to talk about because he's got a heart of gold and a heart full of information. How do you like that one?
That was a good one.
It is good.
Yeah.
And there's a few subjects, but one thing I wanted to say was that I was telling him, a lot of you people write to me and ask me questions about protein and carbs and what did you do, what did you do, what did you do, but if you're watching my shows, you'll know what I did. And there's no reason to ask me again on an email. And I don't mind answering emails, but you have to understand I get a couple hundred a day. And it takes a lot of time. I'm trying to edit and get shows done. And if I have to type answers back on everything, that might be one word, I'm sorry. But it's pretty well explanatory on my show what we do. And if it's something that I haven't done, then I'll bring it up on the show and let you know about it. So, don't be upset if you don't get the total answer from me, because it's real difficult. I'm pulled in 1,500 directions. But we were talking about women's bodybuilding and how it's changed over the years. I just had gone to a memorial for Jeff Everson.
Yes.
And Corey's coming on my show, actually. And she was 6 times Miss Olympia, and she always looked tremendous. And today, she still looks tremendous.
Yeah, she takes care of herself.
She takes care of herself. She's not in contest shape, but why would she be? No one needs to be. Neither am I, and that's the way it goes. In fact, I'm walking out of the gym. This is just off the cuff. I was walking out of the gym yesterday, and I got this cane, and my leg's healing up, and I don't like to keep talking about it, but I have a sciatic nerve that's pinched out of just from walking with the cane, I think. So if you guys have ever had that, it goes down your butt to your leg to your ankle, and it makes your leg hurt really bad. Your ankle is like you sprained it. But I still go to the gym, and I'm limping around doing set to set, and I go to leave on the turnstile. There's a guy standing there in his 60s, kind of plump. I've seen him there a few times. He had a cane for some reason. He doesn't anymore. And he won't get out of my way. I said, excuse me. He says, oh, okay. What, are you in pain? I said, yeah, I'm in pain. And so he looks at me, well, you look like you lost weight. I said, now why would you say a thing like that? Why would you even say that?
Did you use the word skinny too?
No, but I said, but who even cares? Actually, I gained 4 pounds, but I'm training harder, and I've gotten harder looking, and so there's less body fat, which is okay, but why would you come to mind and say that you look like you lost weight? Because I don't look like I lost weight, and I don't even know you to even say something like that to me. I'm in pain, yes, and I want to get through this turnstile. I want to get in my car, and I got to sit down. But I thought that was so rude because I didn't even know the guy.
Right.
It's just not right. People say things, and then they don't know what they're saying. Or you walk in the gym, hey, how's it going? What's new? I don't know what's new. I've always hated that. Hey, dude, what's new? I don't know. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. I haven't lived my day yet, so I don't know what's new. I know that I'm here. And now throughout the day, there'll be new stuff that come up for me, for my show and things that I do. But at this moment, I don't know what you want me to tell you.
Well, that's the gym atmosphere.
I know that just the way the way cliches are, but
people who see you every day too, they're very comfortable with you in the gym.
Yes.
You know, they are comfortable with approaching you.
Yeah, they are. And I'll talk to anybody, but
yeah,
I don't know what's new. There's a lot of stuff out. Just watch the news. You'll see every day. That's what news. You know what news stands for?
No.
This is an education.
Lay it on me.
News, N-E-W-S, stands for North, East, West, and South. Because it's coming from all directions.
Right.
And that's old. That's been around for years, but most people don't understand that.
Attacking you from all directions.
Exactly.
Right?
News, North, East, West, and South.
Wow.
Okay.
You okay there?
No, I choked on a piece of a toothpick out there.
All right.
Women's bodybuilding. Over the years, like I say, Corey still looks great.
Yeah.
There's Debbie McKnight, who won quite a few contests, still looks great. She's in great shape. And they were more feminine back in that day. They looked like fitness models, and they had good muscularity, but they were toned down, and they were sweet, and they were pretty, and they looked great. But then they got off on this tangent back in the 80s. What happened?
Wow. Did they? I mean, right? Corey to Linda Murray, right?
Yeah.
Corey to Linda Murray. Linda Murray, more muscular, and, obviously, and upper body as well as all over. But still, when she walked around, she wasn't overblown.
No.
She wasn't overblown. And then immediately, right after her, Kim Krzyzewski, the blonde with the 20-inch calves. oh my goodness, everything went haywire from that point on. I'm sure there were a few mixed in there before there, during the Linda Murray era. But, I think, I'm not so sure that the women did this on purpose as much as taking the advice of, the following of, certain gurus and, and boyfriends as well. You know what I mean?
That's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
You know who the first woman bodybuilder was basically back in the day?
First woman bodybuilder.
Uh-huh. They got the publicity? No.
Pudgy?
Well, no, not that far back.
Okay.
But in the 80s, for example, was Lisa Lyon.
Oh, yes.
And she was sexy and beautiful, and she was in shape. And then Rachel McLeish, of course.
Yes.
And there's a few of those, but they were feminine. They looked great. And those are the kind of bodies that I would rather see than these things full blown out on GH and insulin and all that kind of stuff.
Now, back then, Carla Dunlap was considered outrageous, right? Really hard looking compared to everybody else at the time.
There were a couple from Germany too that were pretty big. But what happens is they get coached to take, you're a female, you can take Anavar, it's going to be safe, and you can take Winstrol, and it doesn't hurt to take a little GH. I don't think many of them take Test because it's kind of strong.
Well, they got harder with all the first three you just mentioned. They got harder and smaller, and their lower bodies in particular got harder, which is what they wanted, right?
Right. And they started losing body fat because it does strip you down, and they got carried away with it. And then it got overblown to the point of some of them today are as big as the guys they're training with, or bigger.
Oof.
And I don't know what they get by that because it's not really attractive. We would go to the gym back in those days, and I'd just show up and I'd work out and leave. I just wore my clothes and I left.
Yeah.
And then I started taking a little gym bag because I just wanted to change my shirt or something. I wouldn't usually shower at the gym, or sometimes I did, but most time not. But now they come with two big bags over their shoulders and water bottles and thermoses and foods. And I still have that tickle.
Well, they're eating more than a lot of the men.
It's like a whole day process just to work out. And it doesn't have to be.
Right.
It doesn't have to be.
It takes the enjoyment out of it. I mean, things changed so radically from the late 80s. I was at Gold's Gym in Venice. I was at World Gym as well, back and forth between the two. And so I saw a lot of the women back at that time training. And I did train for several years with Laura Beaudry. She won the 88 Nationals. If you remember her, the cute little redhead.
Yeah.
And boy, was she, great personality and amazing body. Great ass. I mean, just... Wow.
Cosmetic surgeries have changed a lot of things too in bodybuilding.
Huh. Yeah.
And it started a long time ago with the breast implants because they were dieting down so much they were getting thin and skinny.
Gone.
So they put these hubcaps on, and you can see the rims of them around the flesh, which are not attractive. They look like Dixie cups. And then they went to the lips, of course, and then they went to the butt implants. And it's like they've taken away the whole sport of bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is a lifestyle. It's a fitness lifestyle. And back in the days, it was all about health, sun, and nutrition and working out. The sun was your tan your skin. It gave you the highlights. And then it went to now it's the orange spray where you're just, everything's brown and orange and underneath your eyes are all white and it looks totally disgusting.
And we've talked about that one before.
Yeah.
I've used it. I've had to use it a lot.
I don't like it. I don't like it. I think it takes away from everything. The implants, in moderation, okay if you don't have something, but you don't need to go overboard. And everybody knows what it is anyway. It looks like a 53 Cadillac bumper.
well, now tell me this too, though. Was there also, I don't know if you know of any, but did the women also shift over with the insulin as well?
I don't know. I think some of them must have because of the size of them.
Yeah, I think so.
I've never taken it. I was just talking to somebody about that. It's just the way to screw up your pancreas.
Russian roulette.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
straight up Russian roulette.
Very, very dangerous.
Extra insulin and a healthy body.
But I just saw a girl in my gym, and she's probably 25 pounds overweight, and her face is bloated out. But it didn't stop her from getting a butt implant. And she's got two little volleyballs back there that stick out, and it's so obvious that it's not real, and there's nothing attractive about it. I mean, I'm a butt man. I'm not a breast man anyway. I like a nice butt, but I want it to be natural.
I think that's why we both appreciated more that era of the female bodybuilding because basically from here down they had amazing legs and butt and this so it would get flat.
Doesn't matter
to me.
No, it doesn't matter to me. It's just a nice shape and it's an athletic shape. But this stuff, and now they're in the gym doing selfies of it in the mirror and kicking back and looking and putting it on Instagram. And I got to tell you, women that do that between me and John here and other men, nobody's impressed by that. No one really cares. There might be some perverts out there that like that stuff, but I don't see any interest in watching some girl's butt on Instagram and showing it off. That only tells me that she's very, very insecure with herself, and she needs to put herself over so guys will like her, and most of them don't give a crap about it anyway. But just be natural. I mean, just be natural and train hard and look beautiful and pretty and feminine like you're supposed to.
Yeah, most of the year, the ones, it was obvious back then that most of the year, most of the women weren't using, and they kept a lot of their femininity.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, some of them blew it, with the voice and a little bit of the facial hair.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, for the most part, they were really, really good-looking women, and had, like you said, great personalities, fun, and they trained hard too.
Yeah.
I mean, I was training with Laura for a couple of years, and it was hardcore, man. I mean, she was training as a pro at that point in time, and we used to see, some, Tanya Knight used to come to the gym regularly. Remember, and as you said, a few of the girls from Germany too, Anya and Langer.
Oh yeah.
They used to come in. Wow, just kapow! But you're right. The dysmorphia that started to happen, with the implants and everything, I think there was more of a reach to try and be more feminine. And, I mean, I'm not going to get into stories, but I could say, for sure there were a few incidences with myself and a couple of them where they were over the top sexually. I mean, they were trying very hard.
Yeah.
Very, very, very hard. This is, before I was a Christian man, of course. But yeah, they were over the top trying to prove the sexuality, even though they were a little bit masculine in there, and it was kind of rough sometimes.
I don't know if it's going to tone down or go back to the way it was, but everything usually goes full circle, 360, and it probably will come back down again to more of a fitness look, because they've already reached their plateau of being that huge, and it doesn't really matter to anybody anymore.
Yeah, and in the last couple of years, they eliminated the Miss Olympia altogether. So there's no more money in the sport.
Yeah.
There's no more money for no one's paying to watch them have their sport. And then social media has allowed some of them to fulfill the need of, some of that, sect in our world that, like to see extremely, extremely masculine females, So see how nice nice I said that right there?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about dating, because if you go out with someone like that, I don't want to go out with a woman who's going to be bigger than me, number one.
Right.
And she's going to have her Tupperware full of all of her meals and a bottle of water with me whenever we're out and having to eat every 20 minutes. And acting like a guy, and it's like, boy, that's such a turn up, because I was on some auditions with a few, and that's all they talk about and think about is bodybuilding and eating, and it's like, oh my God, is there something else in your life that you do other than this?
Well, and plus they're only comfortable at from about that mid-90s era through till recent years, they were only really comfortable, and they told me this too, basically in the gym.
I know.
And around gym people. Otherwise, I've seen it at the supermarket where, you saw some little kid ask their mom, Mommy, is that a man or a woman? So it was kind of rough. And pretty much at this point, Rick, the sport is dead. The bodybuilding aspect of it is dead.
Those women normally would only date guys that were competitive like they were in the same size, that would eat the same way and take the same drugs. You wouldn't see them with some guy that just worked out normally.
No, or the schmoes. They had the ones that just pretty much supported them, and that was another, version of their.
Down in Venice, they have quite a few shows, and normally they'll have some fitness models that aren't full-fledged bodybuilders like that, and they're so much better looking.
Yeah, the bikini and the figure, they're much better. That's the they've kind of moved a little, towards that end to satisfy, a better, more marketable look.
Yeah.
That's what it is. More marketable.
Now, I don't remember posing back in the day. You can have your own routine, but now there's poses that are required.
Yeah.
And the side view with the arm out and the arm back and looking off is like, I don't like that pose. No. And then the girls all bend over and stick their ass in your face. There's so much of that.
No, I did it. Now you just touched on it, okay? And look, we love women, okay? So it's nice. I love women, but I did a whole video on that and how that pose, in my mind, as a judge, I've been a judge of many shows, and when they're up there and they're angling it right towards us, we are looking straight up between their legs.
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand the point in that, because they're all lined up, they all look the same. And it's, I don't know, I'm not a prude by any means, but I don't want it shoved in my face like that.
Well, not at all. I mean, there's I know some of you guys right now are making comments after you hear what we just said, and you're going, yeah, Les, I love that. But look, the bottom line is degrading, to women that are up there and they're sticking their butt up like that and arching it. And somebody determined years ago that was the standard that they have to pose with.
I see women in my gym posing for their trainers like that, and they're looking at their ass, and they're all bent over, and I think, are you really helping her, or are you just looking at her ass?
Negative.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just not my cup of tea, man. I mean, I just see it, and having been a judge and a part of the sport for so many years, I don't judge it anymore because of that in particular.
Yeah.
The women need to rise up and get together and say, look, we don't do that.
Exactly.
Let's be a little bit more classy about it. That's not marketable. When I was promoting shows, if I purposely would not show pictures of the women from behind to any of the potential sponsors, because if they see that, they're just going to look at that as softcore pornography.
Yeah.
And it's not what they want their products associated with. And it does come down to it. It's about the money. Any way you break it down, whether we're talking about bodybuilding, female bodybuilding, bikini, that's what it's called now, bikini.
Right.
Or whether we're talking about YouTube, I'm on YouTube too. Our channels, as altruistic as we could be, still there's a factor of money at some point in time that's going to be involved.
Yeah.
And sponsors are important. And for anybody who's in denial of that, I mean, you guys, I've heard. Can I go off for a second? So I've heard, and seen some comments about my friend Rick right here and his channel. The man does give out a ton of information, has great guests. I've been watching his show for years. Boy, oh boy, man. Well, what do you think? Yeah, he has people sponsoring his show. Otherwise, he wouldn't be able to take the time out of his day to sit here like this, invite me on over, or other guests, and take the time to put on a show like this and do it regularly. For how many years?
11.
11 years. So it's part of the business for you.
Yeah, it is my business.
It's a vehicle, for income to come in. So if there's some ads in his videos and in his show, then yeah, so be it. But Old School Labs and the companies that sponsor him, they're there for a reason, and he has them for a reason because they're good product.
Let me tell you something, because I've had a lot of women contact me that want to get sponsors. I need to get sponsors so I can train. I need the money. I got to get a sponsor. Let me tell you something. 99% of the sponsors aren't going to give you a dime. They don't care how hard you're training. They'll give you products and they'll give you clothing.
Yeah.
But they're not going to support and pay your rent and pay your food and this and that. So if you think you're going to be a bodybuilder to make money from sponsors, it's most likely never going to happen.
Unless you're going to sell your ass.
Yeah, but everybody's got an ass. And if you only sell half of it, it's only a half-ass money.
So look, are we in agreement? We start off talking about the women's bodybuilding. And one thing I want to ask you though is do you think that Corey was really like the end of pretty much the best that women's bodybuilding had to offer, or do you think somewhere before that?
I think she was. I think Rachel and her were like, neck to neck and stuff like that. After that, I know I'd kind of lost interest in it. I think that, I don't know where Lisa Line is today, but she was an awfully cute girl.
Oh, boy.
Yes, I'll put a picture up of her too.
Yeah.
But they all trained down at Gold's in the old days, and they trained hard, but they were still feminine. They were part of the guys, that's just what it was. And we all hung together, and it was nice. But today's world of female bodybuilders, I don't understand it at all. I've tried to get some to come on here and talk to me, and they're afraid to come on camera, and I don't know why. They can sit right here and express themselves and get some viewers and maybe get a sponsor if they want to come on and be a guest. I'm open to it. I want to hear their routines. I want to hear their diet. I want to hear how they train. I know everything about it.
Yes.
So if you're listening and you know this, you contact me. I'll have you on. And you can say your piece about the whole thing.
Wow. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, that popularity of the sport's gone now.
Yeah.
I told you that. There's no Olympia. There's not even at the amateur level. It's just dwindled down to nothing.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much, they know the writing on the wall.
Yeah.
And any of the ones who are going overboard with it right now, it's a foolish move in our country, at least. I don't know about the rest of the world, but over here, it's not even there anymore. It's not there.
I don't know about Germany and some of those countries. They're in a different place with that type of stuff, and they do real well. But I don't know. I wouldn't go pay to watch it. It doesn't matter to me.
Well, and it seems like eventually a lot of them blew it physically. Like when they have retired, a lot of them have run into problems. I mean, to me, a lot of them look like they're fat magnets. And Corey is an exception.
Yeah.
And a lot of them just look like they've and maybe that's from the Synthroid or from whatever they used for the thyroid back in the day, but. The women just, it's been unmerciful to them when they're done.
Well, anytime you tamper with insulin and thyroid, you're going to knock your whole chemical balance off in your body. And when you quit doing anything, you're going to blow up like a balloon. That's just one of the side effects.
Yeah. I'd like to see it come back. Really, honestly, I'd like to see it come back, but I'd like to see it come back with the standard that was of the mid 80s, from 1980 to 1992ish in that era. That sort of a standard should be set, and hopefully they'll bring it back.
One of them told me that their posing outfits that they wear on stage can be several $100s.
Yeah,
they're not cheap.
No, Even more than that.
I think mine when I bought mine was like $10.
Mine's 40 or 45, and that's custom made. So yeah. No, they can go very expensive, up to $1,000. Very expensive.
I never knew that. And
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that's a lot of money just to wear it.
They're sinking a lot of money into the sport as far as the bikini and the figure, and so these days, and they bring that along the ride with the men's physique. You know,
One more
classic
thing.
body.
What do you think about the guys on stage that are wearing like the jams and stuff like that instead of posing briefs?
Well, that's what I just mentioned was the men's physique, right?
Yeah.
So that, along with the bikini, has ushered in a new attention from a lot of people. Number one, myself personally, being like yourself, I'm a bodybuilder at heart, and a lot of those guys, could never make it on a bodybuilding stage.
I know that.
Say right to the camera.
I think that the clothes cut off half your body, number one.
True, and that's why it was originally created, I believe.
They could do basketball shorts just as easy and still look athletic and look good without having to cover it up down to the knee.
Now they've come up with a new category called the classic bodybuilding, and they do wear black shorts, sort of like black posing trunks along the size of like what a Lou Ferrigno used to use. Remember the thick, long ones like that? That's what they wear now in classic bodybuilding at the upper levels, which is nice. But that men's physique with the board shorts, don't get me wrong. There's some of you guys, you don't hammer me on this one. Some of you guys, you are great bodybuilders, and you could
they look in great shape.
Absolutely true. And some of them are just absolute freaks in their upper body as well as legs. They have them underneath there, but they do men's physique, and they look great in that as well. I'm not saying there are none, but the majority, they wouldn't make it in bodybuilding because the moment you have them do regular bodybuilding poses, front double bicep, back double bicep, lat spreads, some of those poses they can't do. They just look good with their arms at their side, twisted halfway with the great abs, which is, again, it's great unto itself. So as a bodybuilder, it's not my sport. I never appreciate it as much as a lot of other people. What it has done is it's ushered in a lot of spectators to come and see those shows, along with the bikini girl shows and the women's figure. Those athletes that enter those shows bring a lot of ticket buyers with them, as well as sponsors. So, and they're becoming more and more popular with social media. So that's what it's done. Is there is an avenue for those things right now. So
no, I know that. I think some of the guys look really good.
Arnold has categories in his show for all of those. Everyone that we just mentioned, he's got a category at the Arnold Classic.
Well, that's the way it has to be nowadays.
Yeah.
Well, John, thank you so much. I know you got to run.
Thank you, Rick.
And I appreciate you coming on here and helping out today.
Thank you.
And thank you guys for watching Rick's Corner. I have people lined up. Corey Everson is going to do my show. Breon Ansley is going to come on and talk to him. I've got Bob Wall coming, who people aren't familiar with, but he was Chuck Norris and Bruce Lee's training partner back in the day, and he did a lot of martial arts films. He's older than me, and he's still in great shape. He has a one knockout punch.
Oh, I'm looking forward to
that. And I saw him at Corey's house. He said, I'll do your show, but he has stories about Bruce Lee and Gene LaBelle and Chuck Norris, because they all hung together, and they trained up at Northridge with me when I was there, so I think that's going to be fun. I like people like that have interesting stories.
Yes, of course.
He's done a lot of martial arts films, too, and Bruce Lee was, I guess, they really enjoyed working with him a lot.
Wow.
So until then, I'll see you next time and watch more Rick's Corner. Be sure to go to Better, Faster, Stronger, Chris Bell's podcast. I have one currently on there that's about an hour and 10 minutes long, but it's probably one of the best interviews I think I've ever done. Yeah. And I'm very proud of it. Okay?
Yes, sir.
See you all next time. Bye-bye.
Hope you enjoyed the video brought to you by Old School Labs. Use my discount code DRAYSON12 on the link below at oldschoollabs.com.
Hey everyone, now you can have the Gold's Gym logo drawn by me, the artist Rick Drayson, personalized and made out to you and signed by me to frame and put on your gym wall or wherever you see fit to do so. It's a piece of bodybuilding history. It will never be duplicated again. It's the largest selling icon t-shirt logo in the world, and I'm the guy that drew it, and I will draw it for you. Just go to my website, rickdrayson.com, and order there. You can pay through PayPal, and it'll be sent out right away. And be sure to watch Rick's Corner for all the videos on bodybuilding, nutrition, fitness, pro wrestling, and anything that suits your interest as far as getting physically fit and being the best you can be from the golden era of bodybuilding.
Kaiser, baby. See you next time.